Welcome class. This will be our second lecture in statistics, specifically biostatistics. Last time we were able to have the introduction, and we're able to see why do we need biostatistics as BLT students, or as biomedical scientists, and we were able to see that biostatistics is important in research. It is the heart of research. It is the heart of research. Today, we want to stem from what Dr. Luke was able to teach. And what did he teach? He taught descriptive statistics, especially in the area of summary of numerical variables. We are going to say today, if I have categorical variables, how do I summarize them? Now, this issue of summary is, we are following the definition of biostatistics. We said biostatistics is in two blocks, joined by a junction which we called probability. This block A is called descriptive statistics, and block B is inferential statistics. And this is where we have data correlation, which we said is organization, data organization. And organization has two arms, summary and data presentation. So when we say that summary is an arm of data organization or correlation, and this organization, which has summary and presentation, follows the type of variable at hand. I told you the definition of a variable is dear to us. So, summary of data or summarization of data depends on type of variable at hand. So we said if we do a 2 by 2 table, a 2 by 2, 2 rows, 2 columns, or 2 columns, 2 rows, we have type of variable as categorical and numerical. We summarize data in two ways: measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency and measures of variation. Measures of variation. Measures of variation. Measures of central tendency, which are also called measures of averages or measures of central location, are those that tell us how values, individual values, tend towards the mean, tend towards the center. The center. Look at it in this perspective. This is this bell-shaped curve of high school, and this is the center. Some values tend towards, others tend away. So the measure of how values tend towards the center is central tendency, and a measure of how values go away from the center is measures of variation or measures of spread or dispersion. Spread, dispersion, or variation. Whereas central tendency can be measures of averages, can also measures of central location. So each has three names, and be familiar with them. If we go back to our 2 by 2 contingency table, if a variable is categorical and it also has a center, and the center is observed as perhaps proportion, ratios, rates, those are measures of central tendency for a categorical variable. Select, for example, sex, proportion of girls in class, proportion of albinos in class, proportion of those that are rich in this class. That is how we summarize categorical variables. Numerical variables summarized as we saw yesterday in the video by Dr. Luke, that we can use mean, can use median, and mode. This we did it in scenario 2. This we did it in scenario 2. This is how we summarize numerical variables by way of central tendency. If we are summarizing numerical variables by way of variation or spread, we think of standard deviation, we think of variance, we think of coefficient of variance, which we call CV. We shall see what we call range, shall see standard error, we see what we call quantiles, quantiles involve quintiles, which is 5 parts, percentiles, which is to do with 100 parts, deciles, to do with 10 parts, and the most important is quartiles. Quartile is not the same as quanta. Quartiles and quantiles are not the same, and this is 4 parts. It's what we're going to be seeing quite often.